Hello and welcome to another edition of Insight, the Greater Cleveland Partnership feature that focuses upon areas of interest to the Greater Cleveland business community. I'm Steve Leutner, and joining me today is Marty McCann, Senior Vice President of Advocacy for the Greater Cleveland Partnership. Hi, Marty.
Hi, Steve.
Marty, today you and I are going to be talking about something that's generating a lot of headlines in Ohio, and that's a proposal to legalize marijuana in the Buckeye State. The Greater Cleveland Partnership, after months of study and review, has decided to oppose this proposal. Tell me why.
An organization called Responsible Ohio has placed an amendment on the statewide ballot that, if passed, would legalize medical marijuana for the state of Ohio and recreational marijuana use in the state of Ohio. And the framework that they've chosen to do that is to have 10 wholesale growing locations throughout the state that are that link back to the investors in the campaign, frankly. So there's 10 places where you'll be able to grow and extract marijuana, but everywhere else it'll be illegal. And that will provide the sort of the marijuana for use across the state. After months of discussion with our members, we did come out in opposition to the Responsible Ohio Legalization Amendment, but we've come out supportive of a related amendment that would limit the ability to use the Constitution to provide a monopoly interest. So it directly relates to the other issue.
And many people indeed see this as a potential monopoly because there'd be only 10 growing sites in the entire state, and the people that would reap the revenues from this would be those who invested in it up front.
Correct.
Now, you and other staff members at the Greater Cleveland Partnership reviewed and studied this for a long time. You have concerns about how this might affect employers and businesses in the state. You've heard from some of your members. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we've spent the last 5 or 6 months talking with our members about this issue. We've brought in proponents from the Responsible Ohio side, as well as opponents of this effort, to have frank conversations with our members about this issue. We've also talked to members of ours that have operations in other states that have legalized marijuana to really get a sense of what the impact has been to the employer. There's a lot of different ways to look at this amendment, but we've really tried to focus on that employer side. We know that employers in legalized states are largely winning their employment practice cases related to marijuana, but it's costing them money. It's been a real challenge. It hasn't been catastrophic in those states, but it has been noticeable. There has been an uptick on failed drug tests. There has been challenges related to usage going up in some of those areas where marijuana is a lot more available. And so there's just been a lot of concern from some of our members.
So you're already seeing some caution flags there. But long term, there really isn't a big bank of data yet that shows how this affects the workplace or business.
No, there's no real data now, and frankly there won't be for a couple of years. Colorado was the first to legalize recreationally, and they just started selling at the retail level about 18 months ago. Washington, the only other state in the union that's selling at the retail level, has only been selling for 12 months. And we know there's a ramp up of activity over time, so it's really hard to tell how this is impacting those communities or those states. The challenge for Ohio is partly the way that the Responsible Ohio has chosen to do this legalization. There are 4 states in the union plus the District of Columbia that have recreational marijuana. There are 23 states that have medical marijuana. The 4 states plus the District of Columbia that have legalized recreationally had on average 12 years between legalizing medical marijuana and legalizing recreational marijuana. That's a long time to learn about what the impacts are to your community and to your state with it being a little bit more available. They're not proposing a staged-in process here. We'd be the first in the union that goes from no legalization to full legalization in day one, and our members are concerned that could exacerbate some of the issues that have already been seen in other states.
It's going to generate a lot of interest here over the next few months.
Agreed.
Thanks, Marty.
Thanks, Steve.
And thanks for watching another edition of Insight. In the weeks and months ahead, we'll be focusing upon more areas of interest to the Greater Cleveland business community.